Hey folks, today we're going to talk about the distributive property. And this is part one of working with the distributive property. In a few units we're going to come back and talk about the distributive property when we're talking about several other different kinds of properties. Some important vocab for this video will be to understand what a product is, which is the result of multiplying numbers, and a quantity, which is the result of operations inside parentheses. We're going to be working with parentheses quite a bit with this topic, so we need to remember that when we are working with parentheses, and especially when we have a term right next to another term inside parentheses, that means to multiply. That means to multiply. So here we have x next to y in parentheses. That really means it's x times y. And to look at an example with real numbers, if we have 3 next to parentheses with 5 plus 7 inside of it, that really means it's going to be 3 times 5 plus 7. Or we could even break this down further to go 3 times 5 plus 3 times 7. So let's look at our first example. So we're going to start off with addition problems inside parentheses that look kind of like this. Now I know that we can add 12 and 15 together and come up with a result of 27, but that's not really the purpose of this part of the distributive property. We are still going to go back to factoring. So when we look at 12 and 15, we have to ask ourselves, is there anything that they have in common? So we can go down here and you can see I've done the birthday cake already. So 12 and 15 have 3 as a common factor. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So we're going to take our common factor and we're going to put that outside the parentheses, because that is going to be distributed or shared to both the terms inside. We're going to move the 4 down here and the 5 down here, and we're going to still keep this as an addition problem. And we know that 12 plus 15 is 27, and if we add 4 and 5 together through the order of operations, we know we have to do things inside the parentheses first, don't forget. 4 plus 5 is 9, and then 3 times 9 is 27. So the math still does work out. Okay, for a second example, again, we have an addition problem inside the parentheses. This time it's 20 plus 16, and I have my birthday cake over here. So when we look at 20 and 16, 4 is the common factor. That's the greatest common factor. And so 20 divided by 4 is 5, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. So we're going to take that greatest common factor, that GCF, and that's going to go outside the parentheses. We're going to take the 4 and the 5 and put them inside the parentheses and separate them by addition. So we have 5 plus 4, or 4 plus 5. Remember, with addition, the order doesn't matter. We also might see the distributive property written like this, where we have our terms separated already into 2 separate multiplication problems, and we need to put it together as one multiplication problem. So if we look on this one, we have 9 times 4 plus 9 times 2. And since 9 is the common factor here, that's going to go here on the outside of the parentheses. Remember, there's no addition or subtraction symbol in between the 9 and the parentheses, so we're going to be multiplying. And then we take the 4 and the 2 that we were multiplying the 9 by, we're going to put them inside the parentheses here. Okay, so that's just another way to look at it. Okay folks, that will do it for this video. Remember, if you need to re-watch the video, please go ahead and do that. We're going to be practicing this in class, and I will see you there. Us!